So our Queen is in her 90s, and realistically she might have 5 years, 7 years. But I recognise that it's an important thing for the Bajan people. And I think everyone in the UK feels good about it because you'll still be part of the Commonwealth. And for sure, no tourists are going to stop coming to this beautiful island. So I don't think it's going to have any detrimental effect on the economy. And it's something you need to do, you need to put the past behind you and move on as a country.
So when you first heard that we were becoming a republic, what went through your mind?
Well, I knew you were kind of a republic. You already had your independence. So as I understand it, this is just a change of head of state. And the Queen, even as head of state of the UK, doesn't tend to exercise her powers very much. She doesn't interfere in politics. She's a figurehead. And it's really whether the Bajan people want to lose the Queen of the UK as their figurehead. But I guess now they want their own figurehead. But I think it's important that that person who takes on that mantle realises they're not there to interfere in the government, the politics of the island. They're there to really be an example and represent your country, just as hopefully our Queen has represented your country.
I do feel that in the past, when countries have become republics, there has become more problems with that society. And I do hope that that doesn't happen in this country. We love coming here. We've been coming here for over 20 years. And I would hate for anything to spoil that. And to replace our Queen with a president of the country, as long as he doesn't do what other presidents have done, or he or she, whoever has taken power or presidency, as long as they don't do what other presidents have done throughout the world, usually after we've surrendered our sovereignty to that country. I'm talking about in Africa, an awful lot of African countries, once they've taken independence, complete independence, and become a republic, they've had many, many problems. And I do hope that doesn't happen in this country.
I feel a lot of countries now could probably learn from what you guys are doing, in the fact that it's not, having the, what does being part of England or having England sort of associated with Barbados, what does it really benefit you guys? Having the Queen as your head of state is great. What does it really offer you guys? There's a long-standing relationship between the UK and Barbados, and that, in my personal opinion, will completely continue. Kind of very similar cultures. Obviously, we've got a long history in the past, some of it negative, some of it positive. But I definitely think it's as a progression for Barbados. It's a step in the right direction for sure. It was certainly covered in the press, and obviously, it's from a UK perspective, it's disappointing to see you lose that tie with the country. But we are all part of a Commonwealth, and I personally, I think with Brexit, I was a supporter of Brexit. I wanted the UK to leave the European Union so that we can do more stuff with the Commonwealth, people that we've had long-standing relationships with. For us, it makes life a lot more. We've been bound by the European Union for the last God knows how long. And getting away from that means that we can do a lot more with you guys. It means we can do a lot more with Australia, Canada, all these different countries. And that kind of allows us to do a bit more. It was reported on quite a bit in the UK. It was reported on in a sad way. But then, we had Ismail Motley at the climate conference the other day. I mean, that was reported on hugely. She went down so well for the way she spoke, what she was talking about. And it really did make the UK sort of take note, and if I'm completely honest, the UK could really do with a leader similar to her. We don't have one. It's a problem for us.
And speaking to one other guy on the beach just now, he mentioned he is hopeful that Barbados does not go down a similar path as other countries that became republics, but their governments failed in some ways. Any fears or thoughts on that particular point?
I mean, obviously, I hope Barbados doesn't go down a route where it sort of negatively impacts you guys. I hope it takes only I hope you take only positives out of it. My big thing is I think that with Barbados, there is a long-standing tie in terms of, tourism is massive for Barbados, and it's always going to be. For UK, coming out to Barbados it's an easy trip. It's a really, really easy trip. We'll continue to love to do it, and I actually think that a lot of lessons can be learned from our Brexit and Barbados is, well, it's not independence because you guys have already got independence. It's more like the Republican thing. A huge amount of lessons can be learned, and it's one of those things where start working together on an actual level playing field could be really, really exciting for both countries.